All right, guys, welcome to another exciting episode of the Left Side View with Rahul and Amitabh. So this is the review episode wherein we will try to review all the matches that we can. So where do we begin, Amitabh?
Yeah, hi Rahul, hi everyone. We'll be reviewing the matches, of course, the FA Cup final, the Premier League, and the Bundesliga in this podcast. Let's start at Wembley. Um, yeah, Liverpool won. Not really much to say there. Super proud of the team, super proud of the effort put in by everybody. Um, Kovacic couldn't run, man, and he played for what 60, 70 minutes. So hats off to him. Again, there were good performances. Thiago Silva got injured so early, and he rallied on. Um, just one of those things. I mean, nothing new. We just could not, kill them off. We had the better chances in the first half. The game actually went in waves. I mean, there were periods of 10 minutes, 15 minutes where one side was dominating, creating more effective chances. But then even Liverpool were a little wasteful in front of the goal, especially Luis Diaz. He was so good and he created so many chances, but then he could not finish. From our side, it was Pulisic who got the best chances, in my opinion, but again, could not hit the target also. Um, yeah, 90 minutes, both sides, dominating spells, but could not make it count. Extra time, the same story, and then it came to penalties, and um, Mount missed a penalty. Aspilicueta hit the post, and Mendy did save one from his compatriot Sadio Mane's penalty, but then, yeah, once Mount missed, Tsimikas scored, and congratulations, Liverpool. But again, super proud of our team. Raul?
I mean, yeah, you talked about a lot of the positives. Let me talk about the negatives, I guess. I just read, that someone like Andreas Christensen, who was actually fit, but he actually opted to put himself out of contention. He opted not to play in this match, even though he was fit. He was actually supposed to start as well. And yeah, I mean, it's just, I guess, bad timing, like obviously, like just before this match, someone like Havertz as well as someone like Werner got injured. I mean, even later in the post-match conference, Tuchel said that Werner, had a hamstring injury in the warm-up, and yeah, he was on the bench, but he was never going to come on and play. I mean, we had to play someone like Dr. Cheek at striker for like extra time. Uh, I mean, that's the thing, like maybe the strategy was to, I don't know, bring on someone like Havertz or Werner, and which is what we wanted to do because we probably knew that Lukaku would probably not be able to play, let's say, 120 minutes. So we got those 70 minutes out of him, but then that's the thing, there was nobody to replace him. And even though for someone like Liverpool, where there was someone like Mohamed Salah who got injured, but still, they had someone like Diego Jota on the bench. They had someone like Roberto Firmino on the bench. They still had someone like Divock Origi on the bench. Even someone like Virgil van Dijk got injured, but then they still had someone like Joel Matip on the bench. In this match, it was Konate who started. So yeah, I mean, yes, they did miss Fabinho, but then the depth that they have. Yes, overall in 4 matches that we have played Liverpool this season, all four have ended in a draw, but they still lost on penalties. I mean, there were rumors or there were reports as well that finally the new owner Todd Bowley has actually now finally met with Emma Hayes as well as Thomas Tuchel. So even Thomas Tuchel said that yeah, he's hopeful that even he like basis the initial meeting at least with Todd Bowley, he does feel like he's also passionate about doing something with the club and taking it far. I mean, yeah, let's see. Like I'm positive as well because of the new owners, but yeah, I'm a little cautious as well because that's something that is pretty clear. We do need a reinforcement. We do need players who actually want to play at the club. Not, I mean, yes, that's the thing. Like, uh, for example, someone like Christensen who was so good in that final Champions League final last season when he came on as a substitute for Thiago Silva, and yeah, kept the City attack at bay. But then yeah, since then, especially this season, it's just not the ending or the farewell that he was hoping for. In fact, this has even put into question his appearance in the last 2 matches. So yeah, that's gonna be a problem. We're already short in numbers, and we've already got a defender who does not want to play, even someone like Rudiger, I think he had an interview last. yesterday or after the match, wherein he said that it wasn't really too long, but even he said that sanctions are not the reasons that he has decided to leave. He didn't really elaborate, but yes, it does look like that it was probably because of the money that we decided not to pay his agent, and not because of sanctions. But I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, yeah, it just it still leaves a sour note because losing to the same team on penalties. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can move on.
Yeah, as far as Rudiger is concerned, I mean, I think this is the only thing that he could have said. He would not say, money was an issue or the fact that Chelsea cannot negotiate right now, that is an issue. It definitely is an issue because even though the negotiations are not going in the right direction, we still had an opportunity to up the offer or, provide better terms, whatever. But now that was taken off our hands. As far as the squad overhaul is concerned, I mean, there was so much, noise about the depth of our squad. Our squad is not that deep. That is a fact. We need players who can play in the Carabao Cup, who can play in the FA Cup, initial rounds, just like someone like City and Liverpool, we need a good second, let's say second 11, good who can churn out results and also, who have the same ethos, the same level of talent. We need substitutes basically. We need a strong bench, and yeah, let's see. Hopeful that
I mean,
the right things will be done
yeah,
in the summer. Yeah, Rahul.
yeah. I was just looking at our attack. Like usually we have like 7 players right now. So out of those 7, I think we had only 4 available. There was Mount, there was Lukaku and Pulisic. Pulisic again so wasteful. I mean, Lukaku was again so wasteful. And then the only attacking player that we could bring on was someone like Hakim Ziyech. Whereas Callum Hudson-Odoi, who is, I guess it seems like he had that mini period this season wherein he was fit and starting games, but ever since then has been like, I think it's been 2 months since we last saw him in action. Then obviously the bad timing of Havertz and Werner. I mean, that's the thing. Like we already have someone like Conor Gallagher and Armando Broya available, but they're out on loan playing for a different club. These two could have actually contributed this season. I mean, I've already talked about before, like the strikers that we let go and the strikers that we bought in. We let go of Tammy Abraham and Giroud, but we only signed Lukaku. So technically, we are still a striker short. Yeah, we can probably do a whole podcast about this, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to balance because you also need players who accept a secondary role. Someone like, again, I'm just taking names of Liverpool players, Chamberlain or um, Simicast
Origi, Origi.
Origi, yeah, and the chap Minamino, player who, they are they are high quality players and they accept that they are their role in the squad. Maybe these youngsters did not accept those roles, so it is a difficult, thing to balance out. And yeah, let's see.
Yeah, just
I
one
think,
last thing, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah. So obviously, maybe also the fact that this season we only had three substitutes rule. Maybe hopefully from next season, because we have that 5 substitutes rule, maybe that should help us as well. Let's see.
yeah. I know there is a lot of pain here and a lot of things that we need to say, but I think we should move on now. There were a whole host of matches in the Premier League on Sunday. Let's start with Tottenham against Burnley. After that stupendous performance against Arsenal, this was not an easy game for Tottenham. I don't know if it was the time gap between the two games or whatever, but yeah, they got a penalty, believe it or not, in the 8th minute. I mean, they got it in the 7th minute. They converted it in the 8th minute of extra time in the first half, and from there on in, yes, there were moments of you know a little bit of scare, but yeah, they managed to hold on and are in crucial 3 points as far as the race for top four is concerned, and also as far as the relegation is concerned. So Tottenham come away with us 1-0 against one. Rahul?
Yeah, I actually predicted a 1-0 or a 2-1. So yeah. Yes, to be honest, that's the case. The fact that, the gap was so less between the two matches. And again, Tottenham don't really have the biggest squad. I think they only made one change. It was Lucas Moura for Kulusevski. Whereas again, Burnley, we knew, that they would make it difficult because even they have everything to play for. So yes, a 1-0 victory, it's all about 3 points because we remember what happened the last time Tottenham won a big game like this when they beat City away. And then the next match, they actually lost Tottenham. Sorry, they actually lost to Burnley. So same thing. There was a chance that the same thing could happen this time, that they beat Arsenal. I mean, obviously Arsenal not as big a team as City, but then still they beat them. And so, but this time they didn't fold. This time they still managed to hold on, because I actually felt like uh, the longer it went on, it seemed to me like it was a one goal game. Like, had Burnley equalized, I don't think that Tottenham would then have scored a winner. But again, that's a different conversation. You don't need.
Yeah, so talking about Burnley and the relegation battle, Leeds faced off against Brighton at home, and Danny Welbeck scored with a Bissouma assist. And again, Bissouma was a monster this match, and it will be. I mean, I don't foresee him playing for Brighton next season. Somebody will pick him up. Um, I don't know the price tag. I'm sure he'll be expensive, but
40 million pounds, bro. That's it. 40 million pounds. He only has 1 year left on his contract. His contract expires next season. 40 million pounds, proven Premier League player. Not
yeah,
sure why we are not going for him.
40. I think he'll go for
That's it.
if there's just 1 year, then I think Brighton will settle for less than that. But let's see. Let's see. Definitely worth a shot by one of the top 5-6 teams. This guy really has improved leaps and bounds in the past couple of years. And yeah, Velvet scored. So that was the status quo for almost the entire match, but not quite the entire match. In the 92nd minute, Stroy scored for Leeds, and given their goal difference, they needed to be a little ahead of Burnley now, even though Burnley have a couple of games in hand to Leeds just one. Yeah, crucial point. Let's see if this is the turning point for them as far as relegation is concerned. Rahul?
I mean, yeah, like that's the thing. We just don't see Leeds scoring 2-3 goals in a game, and that's what happened. Even an equalizer. But then again, how important could this point be? I'm not sure, because at least, because even though they needed to win, it's as simple as that. Because they only have one game left, whereas Burnley and Everton both have 2 games left to play, and they're both already ahead. So it's gonna be like really difficult, and they've even got the worst goal difference as well. So yeah, Leeds are still in a way favorites to go down, but let's see.
Yeah, I mean, at the start of the match, definitely Leeds wanted to win, but given how the match panned out, they would be so lucky, and especially with both the results, or Burnley and the match we'll discuss later, Everton both losing. Um, yeah, let's see how crucial this 1 point is at the end of the season. Talking about Everton, yeah, they faced off Brentford at home, and they did start the scoring through a Calvert-Lewin deflection of. It was a corner that was, the ball was redirected by Richarlison and then deflected into the goal by Calvert-Lewin, and yeah, just after that, their young defender, Branthwaite, he got red carded. Last defender foul. It was a pretty short red card. So from there, Everton down to 10 men, and Brentford came there to play. They were, they were not like in their post-season stress and stuff like that. So they scored. Coleman got an own goal, and from there on, they scored 2 goals in 2 minutes of the second half. Charlison scored extra time of first half, so the score was 3-2, and Everton was still chasing the game. One thing that I'd like to point out here was Everton, even when they were down to 10 men, they did not try to defend the lead, and I think that was partially because that team does not know how to defend. They had no other option than to try and be on the front foot, because they just don't know how to defend. They don't have quality. They don't have that mindset. They don't have that tactics drilled in. It's just it was quite bad actually. It is Lampard's team, so I'll try to be as lenient as possible, but they just cannot defend. That is the brutal truth. And from there on, late in the match, 88th minute, Solomon Rondon, unnecessary foul. I mean, you are fighting such a difficult battle, and from there you are just taking options away from your coach. Makes no sense. Two-footed challenge, for both feet off the ground. Potential leg breaker, I have to say. And again, what's the point? And the ball was also like somewhere down, someone close to the half line. What would you have done by getting possession right there? And yeah, maybe that was a lot of frustration and desperation, and again immaturity shown by Everton. So now they were down to 9 men for the last 4 or 5 minutes, and it just made the win for Brentford a formality. 3-2 victors, and given an opportunity, the way they played against Watford, maybe they were banking to win this match, and now this performance. Again, out of the three teams, I still think they have the best chance to avoid relegation, but again, they're making matters so difficult for themselves. Rahul?
I mean, we talked about this, when they played Watford, that maybe their strategy then was to take a point. But that's the thing, with these teams, anything can happen, right? And that's what happened. Like, maybe they probably would have won this match. You never know. But then again, the sending off just changed it, right? And now, in hindsight, obviously, just going to Vicarage Road to get a point was not a wise decision if that was the strategy. Because now, again, they're probably dependent on others. They've got a game against Crystal Palace, which is again so crucial now, their last home game of the season. They've got to win that to, make sure that they survive. I mean, that's the thing. Like, there are two or three more teams that want to go down, more than they do. That's the thing. Like, that's the competition. Whereas even someone like Leeds are like, no, we are gonna go down. Burnley are also like, we are gonna go down. And I mean, yeah, like in this match, it's what are you gonna do, man? Like even Lampard was complaining that there should have been another penalty before the sending off. But like I said, even with Leeds, they had two players sent off in two matches, on a regular basis, Chelsea and Arsenal. So to compete, you first need to make sure that all your players stay on the pitch. Like that's the basic rule. Even Everton have a very poor record, I guess, this season in terms of red cards. But yeah, let's see. Like I said, they still got two games to play as compared to Leeds is one. So yeah, they've still got a better chance.
Yeah, moving on. There was also an important clash as far as the top of the table is concerned. West Ham against Manchester City, and again with a whole new defense, as we discussed in the previous episode. City did look a little fallible, and especially when the attack is not, going in the same vein as normal. I mean, they use the combination of Grealish, Mahrez, and Jesus for the first time, I guess, this season. So again, City was not as a well-oiled machine as they usually are. So, and West Ham did their best, imitation of smash and grab. They waited for their opportunity. They basically got two opportunities in the first half, and Jared Bowen, playing off the shoulder of the defender. I mean, two perfect runs and then scoring two so important goals. Maybe a future Liverpool player, giving Liverpool that um, edge as far as the match is concerned. So West Ham were leading 2-0, but then again Pep did his halftime talk. I think, yeah, they are just too far ahead on this road to lose it from here, I think. And yeah, they did make a comeback. Grealish scoring in the 49th minute of a deflected goal. The ball hit the defender's knee and bounced over the goalkeeper. And then an own goal from Sufal, a free kick was curled in an own goal. So, uh, yes, 1 point is better than zero, definitely. When they were 2-0 down, they would have been okay with 1 point, but definitely they were looking out for all. The ball is still in their court, even if Liverpool win. The match is Southampton on Tuesday. If City beat Aston Villa. So again, there are so many subplots now. Aston Villa being led by Steven Gerrard. Can he actually lead Liverpool to a title or help them, which he was not able to do as a player. So yeah, so many subplots. But at home, I still think you have to like 80-20 still City. But yeah, as far as the match is concerned, a great match. Both the teams did play well. It just shows that once you get, one match per week, the difference in performance for a team like West Ham, um, it is so it is evident for everyone to see. They also need to, if they are again in Europe. Now, after this match, I think they are above United now. Let me just check.
Yeah,
No,
they should be.
they're still behind United actually, 2 points. So if United fumble up that last match and they win, maybe they can. Whatever they have to work on this squad, and I think there'll be some exits as well from this squad. Um, let's hope some to our team, someone called Declan Rice. So yeah, your views on the
Declan
match,
Rice
Rahul?
only. Declan Rice only if he goes to Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm saying to us. Yeah,
But yes, to be honest, I think we should give West Ham a lot of credit as well. I think the point that City got is still 1 point more than what Liverpool or Chelsea got at this ground this season. And having said that, yes, they've had a makeshift defense, but still, it was actually still in their own hands, right? They still could have won this game if Mahrez had not missed a penalty. Uh, so yes, I don't think that it's the worst result. And even if it is, then you've got to give West Ham credit as well for being so good. At the same time, for City not being clinical enough. Uh, just a word on someone like Garrett Bowen, man. He's still not playing for England. Who's in charge of England, man? Come on. Why are you not selecting him? But seriously, like what a performance. Other than that, yeah, I think that Gerrard, Coutinho, Aston Villa will try to do something, but I think City will be just too tough, too difficult to stop. I think it could. We've seen that at least in the Premier League they don't choke. Even the match against Newcastle, we thought it would be 1-0, 2-0. It ended up finishing 5-0. So yes, I've got a feeling that that's not gonna happen. Like it's gonna be a similar result, and City are gonna win. And I think they deserve to, man. Like seriously, just imagine if a team like City, who has been so good this season, ends up not winning even a single trophy. Seriously, but yeah, I think we've talked about it enough.
yeah. Let's move on to the Bundesliga now. The last match week, and there were some, sights and sounds here, especially as far as the relegation is concerned. So it was Hertha Berlin who were at Borussia Dortmund and Stuttgart who were at Cologne. And after 83 minutes, I guess, then Hertha Berlin, who actually took the lead at Borussia Dortmund in the 18th minute again a penalty. Haaland equalized. It was 1-1, and Stuttgart was also 1-1, and Hertha Berlin was secure. So what happens in Germany is the third team from bottom, they play a playoff against their the lead from the immediate lower division, the third team from there. So both these teams have a playoff, and that determines which is the third team that is going to, whether the team from the top tier is going to stay, or the team from the second tier is going to be promoted. So that is how it works, and it looked like Hertha Berlin had done enough to secure that, but yeah, two goals. One, the victory goal for Borussia Dortmund scored by Mokoko, and then even Stuttgart won 90 plus to 92nd minute, and everything just changed on its head. And yeah, Hertha Berlin are going to be facing that playoff match now. Stuttgart are safe. Rahul, your views on this?
Oh yeah, I think just a party broke out in Stuttgart. As soon as Stuttgart won, and they got to know that they are the ones who are actually staying, and it's Hertha Berlin after conceding that late winner from Yusuf Mokoko. By the way, just 17 years old. I mean, yeah. Whereas, so yeah, I think Hertha Berlin are gonna be playing Hamburg. Uh, I think the other two teams that have already been promoted, one is Werder Bremen and the other is Schalke. Both teams, I think they were only there for a year and have made an immediate comeback. Yes, so Haaland's final match uh, for Dortmund. I mean, some other farewells as well. Even their director of football, Michael Zorc, even someone like Axel Witsel, Dan Axel Zagadou. So yeah, a lot of these things. So we kind of expected Haaland at least to be on the score sheet, and that's something that happened. I mean, yeah, great for neutrals, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, the second thing that was, sort of incomplete, and we all wanted to see was which is going to be the fourth team that will qualify directly for the Champions League. And for that, Leverkusen faced off fifth placed Freiburg, and Leipzig were away to Armenia Bielefeld. And Leipzig was almost, they almost lost this match. They were trailing this till the 93rd minute when they equalized, and that they got a point of the match 1-1. And Leverkusen, again, 97th minute, Palacios scoring the winner, and they defeated Freiburg. So Leipzig are now again through to the Champions League with Freiburg. They're actually sixth now, so they, along with Union Berlin, they will qualify for the Europa League. So, yeah, Rahul.
I mean, yeah. So Leipzig only needed a point to make sure that they finish in the top four. So yes, they somehow managed to do that. I mean, the fact that they were losing and then all of a sudden their captain, the Hungarian defender Willi Orban, equalized. And then when you take a look at what we kind of predicted that Freiburg would lose, but the fact that all of a sudden they could have finished fourth and now they're sixth. Not the right, I guess, send off at the end of their fairy tale season, but still they can. I mean, they could still end it on a high if they meet Leipzig in the DFB Pokal. Other than that, yes, I think the goal that Ezekiel Palacios scored, from almost the halfway line, because uh, Freiburg wanted to win, and that left so much gaps that all of a sudden even their goalkeeper who was trying to score a goal, I think from a set piece, so there was nobody defending their goal, and all of a sudden, what a goal! Like seriously, you don't see a lot of these. So yes, in a way, that I mean, yeah, like I'm not really surprised. It was always going to be a difficult challenge, a difficult task. It's more about a fairy tale season. Not that they are actually the best team or they have the best squad, but yeah, it's a great story. That's all I would say. I mean, other than that, these teams are obviously on paper at least. Leipzig, Leverkusen, they are better. Like you can't doubt that, right? So yeah.
Yeah, and we finally end our discussion discussing the Wolfsburg against Bayern Munich match. The match ended 2-2 draw. Bayern Munich actually were 2-0 up, and Wolfsburg responded in the second half. The scenes at the end of the match with Lewandowski, the way he actually scored the second goal for Munich. So if this is supposed to be his last match for Bayern Munich, he has ended it with, being on the score sheet. The way he was looking at the crowd, and I mean, I think he is a man for whom respect is very important, and the way the executives at Bayern Munich, the way they have treated him, with him abandoning all these goals, but they were still trying to quote Haaland behind his back, not discussing his future. So I think he's hurt, and even though he's 1 year left on his contract, I think he has made his mind up that he'll move on at 34. Yeah, maybe he wants to ply his trade in Spain, or maybe, just maybe, there are rumors that he'll come to Premier League, to one of the best clubs. So rather their best club. So whatever, if this is supposed to be his last game for Bayern Munich, I'm so happy that he has ended it all with a goal, and again, awesome performer for the last so many years. And maybe the definition of an underrated player. People think it is easy, but had it been so easy, why not others have scored so many goals? I mean, 40 plus goals every season, breaking
50.
Muller's record.
He scored 50 this season, bro. 50 this season
Yeah,
in all
yeah.
competitions.
I mean, yeah, even when he was at Borussia Dortmund, yeah, man, he's such a great player. And yeah, let's hope he wears the blue jersey next season. No?
Yeah, man. Even though like Julian Laurent, I think said that Chelsea should go for him, man. And like, I mean, it makes so much sense. The fact that I was talking to you, City have so many world class players. They've got Haaland now. They've got De Bruyne. Even Liverpool have Virgil Van Dijk. Like, who is that one player that Chelsea have that we could say is world class? I'm like, and that one player who is also at their peak. Like, I can probably say N'Golo Kante is a world class, but we've also got to talk about, is he someone who is as consistent now as someone like a De Bruyne or a Virgil van Dijk? The answer would be no. Mason Mount is 23. He can be world class, but he's not a finished product yet. I'm talking about like, do we have actually a finished player, finished article, uh, who's world class? The answer at least would be no. Maybe Lukaku was supposed to be that player, but he hasn't really turned out to be that player. And I actually feel like Lukaku can actually learn a lot from someone like Lewandowski. I mean, yes, I hope that, because we've already read that Bayern Munich. I mean, the Lewandowski already has one more year left on his contract, so it's only up to Bayern Munich, right? Uh, to play ball. If they don't play ball, then he won't go to Barcelona because Barcelona will not spend astronomical amount on signing him. They have a budget, so see they will only try to sign Lewandowski if he uh, can be a part of that budget. So I hope that that's not the case and that allows someone like Chelsea. Because I also feel like I don't really think that if he does come to the Premier League, he would go to City or Liverpool. City have obviously signed Haaland. I don't think that he would go to City. Similarly, Liverpool again got a great system. I know that he's got his whole history with Klopp, but I still don't see him going to Liverpool. I don't think that they need him. But obviously, weird things have happened. So, but with Chelsea, we can clearly see that we need someone like him. It would be a great signing. I know it's never gonna happen, but yeah, let's just think about it and be happy for a second. But I mean,
Yeah,
about the
and
match.
Rahul,
Go
please
ahead,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. About the match, yes, not much to say. Like Bayern already, like they won the league. I would like to say that yes. Uh, has it been the greatest of seasons for Bayern Munich? No, because it's all about expectations, right? Maybe if it was any other club, just winning the title would be okay. But with Bayern Munich, just winning the title is never okay. So that's the thing. I would still give it a 6 out of 10 in my opinion. I mean, Nagelsmann again, it's his first season in charge, so maybe that also played a part. Maybe now that he has learned how it works at a big club, that's maybe from next season onwards, and with a few signings. Because yes, if Lewandowski leaves, we've already seen that you can't replace a striker easily. I mean, we were already talking about Bayern Munich needing another striker to support Lewandowski. Now, if even Lewandowski leaves, they will need two strikers, and it's just not easy to replace someone like Haaland, someone like Lewandowski. I mean, it took us so long to replace someone like Drogba, and when we got someone like Diego Costa, I don't think we've still replaced someone like Diego Costa. Like obviously, Lukaku was supposed to be that guy, but hasn't really stepped up yet. So, like for Chelsea as for Chelsea especially, I think the striker's position is so important. So that's the reason why, from personal experience, I'm saying that for Dortmund and Bayern, they're gonna find, I think, so hard to replace someone like Haaland and Lewandowski.
Yeah, I was just saying that for us, the best thing that can happen from this is we getting Lewandowski and Liverpool losing Sadio Mane to Bayern Munich, as the rumors have already started. So let's see. Right now, just a great champion, and if again this is supposed to be his last appearance in the Bundesliga, just so happy for him that he has scored that goal, and again a goal scoring machine, man. And wherever he'll go to a top level. I think he'll do well. So, Arun, good luck to him. Having said that, I think we come to the end of our
We can
podcast for this
we
hour.
can probably talk about the France game, the PSG game. I think, yeah, if you want.
I think we'll cover it in the next episode. Okay.
All
So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Take care and bye bye.
right, guys.